There's a mouth catch. Getting a bit ahead of his time, I think. The trick catches we've got today. They haven't even got that one rated yet.
I think this must be one of the few sports where adults and children can compete on practically the same basis in the same competition.
Yes. Well, at 1981, which we'll have coming up, we have 2-year-old, I think it's 1982 actually, we have 2-year-old Ben Loveland and 82-year-old Les Janetsky throwing at the same competition. 80 years apart. Yeah. Of course, there's always comes trophy time, and this is my good mother, who died in 1992. Here, she's presenting the prizes, the invitation of Ken to the various winners. You might find Michael Ovington carries away a good few.
Yes.
Robbie Arthur's got something to take back to Sydney from Albury. There's Michael to collect one of his many trophies. Local sponsorship, of course, enables us to have these trophies. The mother and son presentation.
Yes, well, you went home with a few too, didn't you?
I did collect a few that time, yes. But you have your lucky days at boomerang throwing. Things go right for you. So there's Janetsky collecting. I wonder how many sports we have where 80-year-olds collect trophies in open competition. Too many. Women Power, that's young Tessie Mills. Something in the juniors. At this stage we used to always have our senior and junior competitions, under 16 and 16 and over for the seniors.
You said there's lucky days in this, but I think, as Mark Twain said, the more I practice, the luckier I become.
Yes, although I think because of the wind factor, there is a bigger element of luck than in other sports.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you get the bad gusts of winds, there's nothing you can do, and there's nothing your opponents can do if they get the bad gusts of wind either. But certainly practice does help. Mean night. I'm sure the Knight household must have many trophies there. Billy Knight was one of the first ones in Australia that I know of to make boomerangs out of fiberglass. I think you felt one on the back of your head at the US Challenge, didn't you?
That's right, Birchgrove Park. Lucky I was wearing a hat.
But Billy was one who experimented with shapes quite a lot.
Yes.
He also did a lot of demonstrations at the Lion Park teaching people. Did a lot to really promote boomerang throwing in general. Morris is giving a little demonstration of hunting stick throwing here. Fortunately, he didn't rely on it for his dinner.
That's probably something that a lot of people don't realise, is the hunting stick has to be thrown flat.
That's right.
Boomerang upright.
Yeah. We're back in Sydney now, and this is the Junior Championships, the Sydney Junior Championships.
What year?
This would be 1982, I think. Again, it's interesting to see the different throwing styles of different people as they release the boomerang. They do with their feet and their hands. It's a Saji Charko who travelled all the way to Albury for a competition too.
That's right, we had Commonwealth Bank sponsoring it for many years, didn't we?
We did. field that the boys are throwing on here, that was our home ground for many years until recently, is now a golf driving range. There's Marianne Ryan, now a young lady working.
Like Ken Arthur over there in the background, is it?
Yes, Ken Arthur on the range. This is Damien Ryan, Marianne's brother. I had in school, and he was captain of the university cricket team that won the cup this year.
I wonder, did Boomerang throwing improve his arm for cricket?
Probably. Now, he is the younger brother of Paul Heath. This is Michael Heath, who was also quite a good boomerang thrower. Sad to say we've sort of lost most of these throwers. Here's Paul now with one of his own designed boomerangs with 2 round knobs on the end. Remember, it was a very good performing boomerang.
Yes. Yes, that and a little horseshoe-shaped one were exceptionally accurate. This is at Lane Cove, I think, isn't it?
Lane Cove, yes. Robbie Arthur throwing again.
Yes, I think this was probably our peak time for having families involved.
Yes. One of the things I like about boomerang throwing is that you don't have to have super athletes throwing. You notice that some of the children and some of the adults might be what we would call a little bit overweight, but that doesn't stop you being able to throw a boomerang well, being able to perform well. We're back in Albury now, and here's little 2-year-old Ben Loveland. His very first competition. He's just going out to do some practice throws here for us. You'll see his style and how well he's got that boomerang returning.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got that real Bunny Reed flick
Yes.
that Bunny taught him.
Just like Grandpa.
Just behind him is his father, Trevor Loveland, who became quite a good thrower himself in the couple of years after this. He's fairly new to the sport at this stage, Trevor. But shortly you'll see little Les Bunny out on the range, telling him where to throw it.
Now, as I recall, wasn't this when we had the British newspapers there because they were covering Charles and Diana? Or...
I think we may have.
Yeah.
Now, in practice a week or 2 before this, he'd been so good that he'd actually hit himself in the head with one coming back. So when he comes into the competition, you'll find him wearing a helmet, just like a racing car driver. Here's a young Peter Maxwell was just throwing. And Michael Ovington, now a little bigger, still just as good a thrower.
Michael did well at a number of sports, didn't he? He was a good athlete.
I'm not too sure of his record with other sports, but he should have been. He was a natural athlete. Night girls again throwing. Peter, of course, was a member of the 1985 Australian team that beat the Americans. And here's little Ben's mother, Leanne Loveland, who in some ways was possibly close to the best woman thrower we've had around. Herself and Carol Lurie, Jeff's daughter, both very, very good women throwers. Peter Johnson, another one of the many left-handers around. Not a very graceful style, Peter, but a very effective thrower. Jackie Byam, in some ways the father of boomerang throwing around Australia as far as making it known goes. Jack threw boomerangs in Disneyland. He sold a whole swag of them down at the 1956 Olympics in Melbourne. That's where he really got into boomerangs, I think, in a big way.
He was one of the... He's Bob again, isn't it? Bob Bluewell?
No, that's Gary Durant.
Oh, it is too. I was going to say that Jack Byam liked to sign his boomerang as well, Balajamu, as his Aboriginal name.
Yes, he was a blood brother of one of the Aboriginal tribes. Here's me with a bung back, of course. Walking stick just to make sure there's no hard running to be done there.
Stick that comes back in one hand and one that doesn't in the other.
So when you realise how much your back means to you when you have to try and throw boomerangs with a bad back. This is a 7-year-old Andrew Ryan, quite a good little thrower in Albury. Peter Maxwell in slow motion. Now here's little Ben coming out for one round in the championships. On his jumper it says Australia's youngest boomerang thrower. Finish that round, and in the next round he's going to do the winning throw in the junior accuracy titles. So he cleaned up people like Paul Heath here throwing in the accuracy comp, become the Australian junior accuracy champion. Now here he comes. This is the throw that actually won him the junior title.
Yes, that's a good one.
Here's young Robbie Kroll.
Young man who's gone a long way.
Yes, this is in the very first days of doing MTA throwing. Chris Westall was one of the junior throwers that kept throwing. I had Chris in year 6 when he was about 11-year-old. He was throwing for us against the Americans. Andrew Travis was the only Aboriginal thrower from Melbourne that we ever had throwing in competition. He was a natural thrower, beautiful mover.
Yes.
It's John Bailey from Melbourne, and then Dennis Maxwell off for his MTA chase.
This was about the time that we started with the logos on the shirts, wasn't it?
Yes.
Noticed a few people wearing them there.
One thing the Janetskis never tried was MTA throwing.
Yes.
Or fast catch. Harbour. There's some of my early efforts in MTA throwing. See, the predictability of where it was going is not too good. Tony Butz. With a good
Not
bounce
doing too well.
Barry Forsyth. Barry was a fairly deceptive thrower, I found. He didn't look as though he was doing too much with the boomerang, but he was pretty accurate on the whole.
And his hooks were pretty thick too, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
Here's the goal. Chris Henson's throwing and designed. Now this was Chris Henson's wife's sister, Annie.
That's right.
She got really keen on throwing this 3-foot boomerang, not only throwing it, but trying to catch it.